wholesome and happy jokes here.
Woo!
I think we cheers when we start playing.
Clink, clink. That was the original thought. Original.
Yay!
When we start playing? Oh.
Like after the announcement
Rachel,
but let's start it here.
Yeah,
You guys into Charleston?
What I do like about it at the beginning is it immediately just unifies us all to be like, we are starting something. And I think that's pretty great. So, episode 37, same announcement from last week. Check out our Twitter and YouTube for Stevens Woodworks, a wonderful, wonderful person. Got a really wonderful note for us on the back of his card. So thanks. So thank you, Chris. Truly, go to his Etsy page, go support him. He was wonderful to work with. He did a fantastic job making us some custom adventure tomes and working with us to just make them absolutely wonderful and a great treat for us to have and to share with you. We're giving 2 of these away. As you can see, Julie's off into the corner there, and this one right here. His Etsy page, Stevens Woodworks RVA for Richmond, Virginia. And these will be great if you are a player to travel with your dice and your miniature. And to show that you're a fan of the show, you get a nice little King Leo D&D thing on the front, and it says King Leo D&D on the side. So join us as all of our players have these too. And go support his page. He's got some really cool stuff on there, and some really unique art and things that you can do to even paint and customize them yourself too. So go check him out, support him, and support us by entering to win one for yourself so that you can support yourself.
Nice.
Yeah, treat yourself.
Treat yourself by retweeting us and getting yourself one of these wonderful boxes. 2.
Yeah, Hank Troutman.
Yeah, I know you're out there.
I see you.
What if we actually have a follower named Hank Troutman?
That, and can Hank Troutman just be our forever like stand-in for our fans?
Yeah.
Just like he's Hank Troutman out
Hank
there.
Troutman
I had a
is the
student named Hank
representative.
Sparkman. We can call
So
him.
close.
And say,
I don't
make
know if
sure
you're
you
allowed to
watch
say
the
that.
D&D.
HIPAA.
No, it was from Upper Bound.
Oh, it's forever ago.
One.
Basketball? The children's
Yeah,
thing?
Sandra used to play
That definitely feels
basketball
like
with a guy named
that.
Hank Sparkman. To recap last episode.
There's got to be a million Hank Sparkmans. Come
That's
on.
awesome. I think to recap last episode, we wept, we laughed really hard, and had a really fun time.
Yeah.
So we had some awkward conversations with Munkin. We tried to find Savarin a couple of times, did not ultimately find Savarin, and Lorelith was slightly interrogated about her views of herself and the world around her
what the heck?
by Munkin. In addition to that, Felon woke up in a tree, had some fish for breakfast, had some time with his fox for breakfast, meandered around the lake, and then found a mystical eagle creature that flew into his chest, and he had an experience with a very rare rainbow fish that he dedicated back to the earth.
Like the book. The Rainbow Fish.
No, the rainbow fish will forever be
go home
alive.
and tell
For all of
Philip that
our
you meant the rainbow
infant
fish.
fans, have no worry. You're
You're like, what? It's fine.
Misery and Julie, who will probably start this episode diving into where they're at, drank some more, sang some songs, and then Julie kind of talked Misery into going back to his home in a way that it was pretty crazy, and so we'll see where that ends up in the morning. And Pilgrim also, we're kind of all over the place for times of day. Pilgrim started his morning, talked to Chikasho, learned some things about Dust Forge, and a little bit of some resources and stuff there while trying to pursue some threads around the Kalash Star, and is now at some point going to head to Fairgrand, which will take place simultaneously of when Lorelith and Gwendolyn were in the west side of town looking for Savarin. So, let's dive right into the morning at the Burness Estate.
Can I say one thing?
Likely the afternoon at the Burness Estate, but Cassandra,
Joffrey.
Joffrey!
don't
We
forget.
still have him.
What do we need him?
Even if we're not in combat.
I mean, you kicked the door down easily, so we didn't need
I
it.
was just saying, we have him.
Yeah. So,
I don't think
I
he's
think
at
what
us
is
this week.
most likely to happen is Misery. You were in your four-poster bed with the fine silk canopy hanging above your wonderful, deep, soft down mattress, and very ridiculously high thread count sheets. Lost so deep in your drunken sleep. However, you cannot avoid
Oh no.
the cold fingers
Oh no!
of Uncle. A name you could not remember the night before.
Yep.
But the moment you feel the pinching of your toes,
Not my toes!
the name runs out of your lips as if it was ever present. And the goblin servant of your family. Semi godparents!
Yep. That's how I wake up, for sure.
Yeah. Pinches your toes, and Master Bonus was not expecting you to be in bed in here. Good morning.
Neither was I. Good morning.
That's a joke. This is the afternoon. You
Oh.
have slept quite a long while.
Oh, okay.
Haha.
Haha. Stop making fun of me, Hunkle! Have you seen another person around?
So I can say what Tulu would have done too. If that's helpful.
Sure.
She would have tried to wake up
Okay.
reasonably early and was meditating. And she did that like Bruce Wayne thing from The Dark Knight where he like stands up and goes bam and then starts doing push-ups.
Whoa.
She was doing that.
Wow.
Alright, so you're still in the room doing that?
Yes.
I do that too.
You fall on your face, I'm sure. No, I have not been making rounds into the empty rooms. Are there guests?
No.
Of course not. Why would there be guests?
Hey, I have friends.
Of course you do. Of course you have friends.
You hate me, Hunkle.
The beanie and flannel really makes you character today.
It saddens me that you take this as hate. I really enjoy this.
I'm just getting paid to be my friend.
Oh. Wow.
Are you getting paid?
I'll leave that up to your imagination, but I would be here nonetheless.
Oh, that's a little sweet. I'm probably really hungry, so I'm gonna go downstairs and see what's cooking.
Alright, we'll meet you down there.
Interesting way to say that.
Bye, Uncle.
I'm probably really hungry.
Wait, I am really hungry.
I'm still a little drunk.
You head downstairs. Julie, while you are doing some push-ups, eventually the door does open up a little bit, and you see this very low, like 3 foot tall, like around that height, head of a goblin just kind of lean over, and you get like one eye peeking from the side of the doorway.
Tuli, I'm picturing, is on the other side of the bed, and she like pops her head up from like a plank or whatever and like sees him, and like immediately her face and like hair light up, and she jumps up and like bounds onto the bed and like runs to the door.
Oh, jeez! Door shuts.
She sprints and grabs and pulls it open.
You pull him through the door when it comes in. He's still holding onto the handle, and so you rip him into the room.
And she says, Mr. Burness, I've been waiting so long to meet you.
Oh no!
I am a huge fan of your work. By which I mean your son, Misery.
Aw.
This is deeply humbling, and absolutely not. None of that.
Which part of that?
All of it is wrong.
Oh.
I am, and he puts a hand up. I'm Uncle.
Tuli crouches down on one knee so she's level with him and kind of calms it down a little bit. And she presses her fingertips together in like her typical bow and does this and says, good morning and well met, Master Uncle. And then she says, like, what's for breakfast?
And then his cheeks, though green, start to turn a little pinkish. And he's, no master here. I am the servant of the house, and there's some very good raisin bread that I've been working on this morning. I'm sure is to be a delight. And he's not making eye contact with you, he's just staring down at the ground.
She goes, say less, dude. And then
Raisin bread.
Julie goes, and then she puts her hand on her shoulder and says, you're funny.
Oh my
And then
goodness.
she just jumps up and runs to get like her shoes and like coat and whatever. I'm picturing her decently dressed, but goes to get like her pack and stuff. And she's like, "So, Uncle, tell me about yourself."
Goodness.
Well, I have worked here all of my life, as is the life of a goblin and populace, and so the Burnesses have been wonderful to keep me here and allow me to serve and care and be a part of the family.
Yeah.
As you have met Misery, their cherished son, as well as, did you ever meet Worth or Janice in your prior visit here when you were sleeping?
Let's just say I met them in another life. No response. Dead silence. She goes, no, I was dead.
Oh my god.
Julie, you're great at conversations.
And then Tulu just breezes by it and goes like, "So y'all unionized up here?" She's like, "I may be in the market for a part-time gig. Just wondering what's up. How's the market?" Unionized.
No, I don't. No, but I'm sure whatever placement one would get would be very well planned and worth it, as it has been for me.
Sure. She's like halfway out the door, and like, is he following her?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And he's like, "All right, come on, Uncle." And like,
Great.
and then she turns around and goes, "This way?" And it's like halfway down the stairs.
This way, and then points the opposite end of the hallway where you're already running and very energetically going the wrong way.
She's gonna go. She's gonna follow his instructions. So you can go to breakfast.
Cool. He leads you through what you would be on the second floor and just goes down the spiral staircase across the room from the entry chamber over off into this large dining room where you were not before, but other folks were. It's empty, Misery, when you were there. You've not run into your parents so far while being there. You know your dad's normally working at this time, so that is pretty much in the clear. But you haven't bumped into your mom, who's normally home and around, but not generally in the dining room at this time. And so there's a platter of some bread, the raisin bread that he was talking about, on the table that I'm sure you were already getting into when Julie gets down there too. Misery, I've met your friend that you alluded to staying here with us last night as well.
She's fun, right?
Should I fetch the missus?
Actually, we're probably just leaving, so.
Oh, okay. I need.
Julie's like sitting down. He kind of looks at him like he's slowly reaching for some raisin bread.
He reaches off into a pocket of his vest and rolls out a blank piece of parchment paper, and then pulls out a little ink and quill. Then please, if there's any note or message that you would like me to leave for the master and the missus before you head out.
Julie's just looking at him.
Yeah.
Your drawing.
No, I can't leave my drawing.
Dad, you
Just
suck.
a simple thank you.
Oh.
Hey, Dad, look at me. Think back and talk to me. Did I grow up according to plan?
I hate you, Dad. No, just a simple thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
The end.
The end.
Julie says, "P.S. Yes.
Group letter, right?
As previously mentioned, I am a big fan of your work, meaning your son." And then I look at Misery and go,
Show the cameras what you're doing with your hands.
Tapping onto parchment.
she's like eating raisin bread with one hand, and then she's got a quill with the other one. She's like, "And also, thank you. I would love to meet you in the future."
Wonderful. And your name was?
Tulipalo Jigyasu.
Wonderful.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
I love that the PS is like so much longer than the actual letter.
Thank you. The end.
Yes,
Yes.
Also, Uncle is great. You should give him a raise.
Very kind, very kind.
Alright, Tully, grab some bread. Let's get out of here.
Is the fire lit? In the dining? It's, I mean,
No.
it's lit.
No, it's not lit.
Okay. Is it winter?
Bars lit.
Is it winter?
It's spring.
Okay. She's gonna light it for Uncle as a favor.
What year is it?
Who are you people? This is not going well.
Okay,
This
Tully
is
doesn't-
going incredibly. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, carry on then. I'll be sure to pass this on.
Alright, bye, Uncle.
She like reaches out an arm and like rakes the bread into
Yeah,
her.
put it in your bag. Your big bag.
Like, you don't want any of this. I'm like, screams more.
Sure.
Bye, sweet misery. We miss you.
Oh,
Bye, sour Uncle.
Is that his first name?
Yeah, it should be.
Whoa.
It's not Junkle.
Uncle.
Dude, I'm sensing some deep-rooted issues here.
With me?
do you want to unpack
With
that?
Uncle.
Talk to Logan.
Actually, Uncle seems pretty chill. What's
You think so?
What's your deal?
I think that we should go and you should stop.
Tully goes, whoa.
There's nothing wrong with me.
Tully says, Tully is conflicted, and she bows to peer pressure, and so she says, okay, and goes.
Great. So you head out of the Burness estate, walking through the gardens, through the front, down the pathway to the front gateway. You then head back into town. So we've got Felon by the Lake, kind of exploring off and doing his own thing. Gwendolyn and Lorelith on the west side of town, who would now be wrapping up at Savarin's place. Pilgrim, we've got you heading over to see Farragram, so let's dive into that.
Okay, I head over to Fairgrounds.
Your best friend.
To see.
To see Martha. So you open the front door and you see the very bushy-haired silver curls of Martha. Large glasses on a stool upraised on the back end of the sales counter. And the door opens and she does not look up or seem to hear or notice when you see her.
I picture that you like full
Yeah.
rolled.
Army crawl.
It's very unlike Steven to immediately fall on the floor in any situation.
Can you imagine?
I've never seen that happen.
Well, Pilgrim, who's not Stephen, approaches the situation head on
Yeah.
and says, "Good morning, Martha."
Oh, hello.
There we go.
Subtext. We're like, oh, she says hello.
Is Fettergrand around?
I have not seen him. We're here all alone.
Oh my god! Alone with 3 E's.
Do you know typically when he comes around the store?
Could be soon. Could be later.
He cut the tension with a
Do I have
knife.
any sense if she's being genuine or just if this is foreplay?
Some call it flirting, Steve.
G-rated.
Oh, wait, no, I'll roll an insight check for you.
For Pilgrim, it only
What's
leads
your
to
insight
everything.
modifier?
My insight modifier, I believe, is +7.
That's wonderful, yeah. She knows, but she's playing with you.
Ooh. Who likes that? I don't know.
I'm trying to think how to politely just get the information from this woman.
Damn.
Okay.
Have you met Martha before?
No.
This is new for you.
Oh, yeah,
So I was like, this is new for Michael.
Yeah.
Stan's birthday.
Gosh. Happy birthday.
Oh
Okay.
No.
Pilgrim nods and I don't know what to do in this situation. Says,
no! Yeah.
well, perhaps you could leave a message for him for me.
Well, fine. All right. What would you like me to leave him?
Please let him know that I desire his advice.
Oh.
I desire his advice on a personal matter. I will say that if you could deliver this message and make it clear that I would like to speak with him sooner rather than later, I would be eternally grateful.
That's a long time.
If he were to want to find you, where could I send him?
You could send him to the... Wait, I'll think of it on my own.
Cozy cards.
Don't do it. I'll do it.
The pearl, the glass.
Let him do it.
Let me do it.
Let him do it.
Let me do it.
He's a big boy.
The grand chandelier.
Let him do it. Might do it.
Grand Shandy.
I don't know what
do
you're
it.
trying to say.
I'll be with Rickledor.
Oh, nice. The brass knuckle.
Ocean's Deep Goblet.
Ocean's Deep Goblet.
He can find me at Ocean's Deep Goblet.
He did it on
Because he
his own.
said the.
And then I smile, and I
True.
bow slightly, and then I walk out of the place.
Noted. No.
Great. And now I go there instead.
Rubelor seems in a weirdly flirtatious mood with you this morning. So you're gonna go hang out at Ocean's Deep for the day.
Yeah, I'm on a mission. I'm just
Yeah.
asking around about stuff. So.
Okay. Do you have particular questions for Rubelor too, or are you just hanging there?
No, I know that in my book it talked about how this Remy person
Yeah.
had come around
Yeah.
Ocean's Deep Goblet. So
Yeah.
I was just gonna, kind of in the same vein that I was doing with Drakasha, just kind of be like, hey, do you remember this person? Do you
Yeah.
have anything you tell me? You know,
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
let me get my dice out of my book.
Tell him.
A what check?
Persuasion with advantage.
What?
Okay, well. Alrighty. Oh, what am I doing? I can really do this in the book.
I thought it was silly that you were doing that. Silly.
Well, Dan, use
It
the
was
one
worth
on
it.
camera.
That's a 15 plus 3, 18.
Wow. Okay. You're talking to Virgildar. The bar is pretty empty, and there's this point in the conversation where you're talking a bit about this Remy woman and time that she'd spent. Yeah, you're asking this question about. It seems like she'd spent some time around the tavern. And you can see, and you've spent a lot of time, one, kind of studying the mannerisms of Rickledar as well as just the people around you. Since you've been in Populous, just spending time trying to understand the way that people share information, the way that their face displays information, even the way that people's eyes can show if they're being truthful, genuine, or not. All of this, you've been really fixated on the habits and behaviors of people in general, which has really fascinated you since you've been in Populous. And you see Rickledar's shoulders drop and his face just soften, and he meets you with some direct eye contact too, where you just get this strong kind of defenses down, genuine heart-to-heart moment at some point in this conversation. This is a kind of a sad point in my life. Remy? Is Remy? Thank you. All right.
Is that
That
Rickledor's?
was an end.
Wow, remember names, man.
Yeah. Remy and I, I did think we would get married. She and I had met well, she had told me that she was on the run and finding safety and protection here in a new town and trying to start a new life here. And she started to work around the bar with me, and we just got to talking about what life we could have here together. And well, in that, what was 2 years of building a really engaging and fun and energetic relationship ended up turning into her up and leaving one day. And this was, oof. And then as he's even sitting back and thinking, you can start to see some of the age lines on his face, and he's got long black hair, being a dwarf that's pulled back into some braids, and then there's that shock of silver that goes back in his head, his hair too. And as he's thinking back to this, he says it was probably 20 or so years ago that it starts to connect with you two, that he's been here for a long time. And even then, and as you're piecing together the timeline of when people were talking about this Kalishtar woman that was here, and now him verifying that as well as his close relationship with her, this was nearly 30 years ago, 25 years ago or so, that he and this Remy woman were pretty close, and she did have a relationship with him.
Thank you for sharing this with me, and I'm sorry that things did not pan out as you may have hoped.
I haven't honestly thought of her in a very long time either, but where did you hear of her, and what is your interest in her as well?
Well, I have been seeking to learn more about my past and my people and their interactions in this land. I borrowed a book called Tales of Travelers and Their Gods, and I saw some mention of Remy in those books as she traveled through Populous. And I also wonder if these dots would connect or not, but do you see any reason that Remy would have wanted to pass through Dustforge?
She had actually, the pain of trying, not the pain of the relationship, the pain of trying to remember such old conversations is like on his face as he's racking his brain, and this is kind of kicking up some knowledge and stuff too. She had mentioned, and there were several nights she would be talking with folks and different travelers here who would come through town, and she got fixated and very interested in Dustforge, saying that there was some tie to her people there too. She had been led to believe that there was another Kalishtar clan that originated from the area around Dustforge. She was interested in that. Do you think that's where she went?
Fascinating. I know that there's reports of other Kalishtar in Dustforge. It seems as if that is increasingly becoming a spot that I will need to investigate, but it is certainly intriguing to know not only that Remy may have been there, but also that there were Kalishtar of another clan in the area. This is most enlightening, so thank you for your time.
If I may ask you as well then, as she was on the run from seemingly the same people you may be, is that your story?
My people were not who I thought they were, and it seems that we were either serving the same god for very different reasons, or they were serving someone that I want no part in, and so I left. and I left rather violently, and so I don't think it would be wise for me to re-encounter the people that I did leave. However, recent events, recent memories are starting to reveal that it may be inevitable. I don't like to think that I am one to be unwilling to face what is difficult. I have faced many difficulties in the past. Earth-shaking difficulties.
I'm good.
And I hit the camera with my big dumb but I would prefer to reconnect with my past on my own terms.
And these terms would involve pursuing this other Kalashtar clan?
I believe so.
Okay.
It would seem that this Rini came from the Carissa clan, which is the people that I hail from. And at this time, she is the best hope that I have for continuing to clear the fog that is still very much part of my recollections.
This is an old throwback for me to just connect these dots, but the first time you met Rickeldar, I think you rolled really high on an insight check, and you saw that he looked into your eyes and there was a sadness in them. And so I think, given that that was less than a week ago, and Pilgrim would kind of have that on his mind as he's thinking of Rickeldar and having this conversation too, that those dots connect of like, he has a deep relationship with a Kalashtar woman that when he first met you, you also would have purple eyes, and that there was this like similarity in some ways that triggered some memory in that. And as you were having this deeper conversation with him too, that odd moment of seeing that on his face before now just kind of meets in the flesh of this conversation. And then he says, I want you to know that if any force or being that might be coming after this violent end that you had with your clan from the past, I would give you as much trust and protection and loyalty as I would give to Remy.
Wow.
And I appreciate all that you have done for us and our kind and our people here. And I wish you the best in what you see.
I thank you, Rickeldar. You are more than an ally, you are a friend, and I appreciate your time.
Hey, I am more than a friend. I'm a business partner.
Oh.
Steven's like, shit!
Don't tell Mark that.
Don't let every establishment, everyone fall for me.
Purple eyes.
Burger's crash. You may be wondering how.
Yeah, that's me.
I am more than a friend, a business partner.
I just smile and I kind of nod quietly, and then I think I'm just gonna kind of go sit in a little corner and just kind of think through all that's been going on and hope that I hear from Rastar at some point, but just kind of chilling discreetly.
Cool. Where would Misery and Julie be heading after leaving home?
Probably huge, right?
We haven't been to Smashbox? Smashbox on that.
That's true.
Kind of want to have some.
Show up late with.
Especially because it's
$100.
morning for some.
Yeah. This is
not
Julie and
coffee.
Misery talking.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to do Smashbox?
Yeah.
For some not coffee? What is it called?
Fedo?
Fedo.
That sounds great.
Cool. And then where would Laurel and Gwendolyn be heading after?
I mean, I guess. I don't know. What do you think, Gwen?
I don't know at this point. I feel like we would.
I mean, we're gonna try to find everyone, right?
Yeah. Would we try to meet back up with? We haven't seen Fallon and Pilgrim, or are we too isolated for that? And we're like, oh, that's fine.
I mean,
Well, should we go check on? Did you want to go check on Grinjin?
Oh, yeah, I do.
It's kind of funny that we're together too.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. we go check on Grinjan.
We go check on Grinjan.
Great.
We're checking on Grinjan.
Great.
Hey, no, sorry.
That's offensive to me and my people.
Offensive.
Great. Okay, let's do that real quick then. As you head into Grangen's, I will say one of the first things that you do notice is, which you haven't been here in maybe 2 days at this point.
That's it.
I'm trying to remember. Y'all didn't stay here the night before you left,
No.
right? It was the night before
sometime,
that.
right?
So yeah, it's been a couple
We
nights.
stayed here the night we got back from going to the
Yeah.
cave for the
Yeah.
first time.
So one of the first things you notice is that a lot of the like pots and pans and kind of more personal possessions of Grenjans are taken down, not on the walls, and hung up in the room where you first enter. And then as you continue to walk through and look for him and you're calling out for him, you can actually see that he's got a little bit of like a pack set up, and there was a cart outside of the house too. And so he hears you coming as you call out to his name, and he stops like wrapping some of the cast iron like pots and stuff that he was doing in the cloth and everything.
No.
Oh hey, Lorelith, and I'm so sorry. And he makes eye contact with you. Who's
Gwen. That's okay.
Gwen.
Gwen.
Hello. How's it been going? What brings you by, and how are you doing?
Well, I mean, we just wanted to come by and check on you, see how you're doing.
Yeah, thank you, and it is good. It's good to see you again. I was hoping that I would before I left.
Where are you going?
A cousin of mine had reached out and wrote me a letter asking if I would actually come and stay with them, and that they were asking to actually take care of me and have me come stay with them in their home. And to be with family again just sounds, well, it sounds very nice right now.
That's all Loyola has to say. She walks away. I don't know where she goes and fiddles with something.
Okay. Gwendolyn, you see Laura just immediately just dodge out of that conversation. Maybe starting to help him wrap up some of his things, or are you trying to just like not even?
No, I'm not a part of this anymore.
Okay, great.
I'll say that. That's nice to be with your family.
I was very surprised to read the letter. I didn't think that they would even think of me, since, oh gosh. I can do this.
Yes.
Tabitha. Since Tabitha's passing. Wow.
Was that Dan that forgot?
That
Or
was
did
Dan.
Grinjan?
That was
Okay.
100%
I was like,
What was my wife?
it's Quilt Day!
Please don't remind me.
I think only of the quilts.
Please don't.
Since Tabitha's passing, and I suppose that when I sent a letter to update them that they created space for me and would like to have me with them, so I will take them up on that. And he's like kind of looking over at Lorelith, who's staring at a wall on the other corner of the room. Like,
No, I pulled something out of my pack and I'm like whittling
yeah.
pretty aggressively, I think.
Just like look at Laura across from her bed, look back. When are you heading out?
Tomorrow morning, I'm loading up the cart and I will be buying a horse to take the journey west. And I will either, well, I was thinking of selling this place either to Lorelith if she would want it, or off to the government to at least get it resold to someone.
I hear that and I go, nope, that's okay. This isn't my home anyway. And then I walk out the front door.
Whoa.
What's your charisma?
Whoa.
Well, I suppose when I buy the horse from the stables, well, then I'll also negotiate the sale of my home.
She whispers.
Lorelith may be having a hard time with your departure. Perhaps you mean a lot to her, and we appreciate when you let us stay here. But I know you mean a lot to Lorelith. I think she is having a hard time processing. But is there anything we could help you do to prepare?
I do think I'm just about done there. Not much left in the possessions. I have been downsizing and been pretty humble lately in that. So no, the cart is nearly finished, and I honestly did not know it would be so hard on her. I don't know how I missed that. She moved in. Well, I took her in maybe 2 weeks ago. She was just new to town, and I saw her in the markets looking for. Well, she was very confused about buying some food, and gave her some money and was able to sit down with her first meal in Populous and help her. Well, I told her what a coin was.
It didn't stick.
I've never met somebody as odd as her, honestly, and just didn't know that really meant anything to her.
That's beginning an hour-long monologue about what a freak Lorelith is.
I think you were the first friend she had in a very long time. Perhaps even first family in a very long time.
I can understand that. Would you let her know that she also was family to me when I did not have much family left as well?
I am not great with words.
Did I,
But
just say what I said. I said it.
Just say what I said.
Repeat after me.
I'll write it down for you.
What are you thinking of? What are you thinking of selling your house for? What were you thinking of telling them?
I mean, honestly, I don't have much need. I just need to get to Traverse City. I'm sorry, no, I misspoke. I need to get to...
Hank City.
Troutman City.
Hank's Trout Town.
Hank Trout. And
no, I'm sorry, Bounty Faith. He's going Bounty Faith.
Bounty Faith.
Quick.
What did you say? Bounty Faith? Bounty.
Yeah, Bounti Faith. And I can get there with the money I will spend on the horse. So honestly, I just wanted the house to go to somebody I knew who needed it.
We did just come across some funding. We killed the Abeloth. It's fine.
What?
Okay, Gwen has all the money now. Christian's like,
Right. Maybe I can talk to Lorelith, before you leave, before tomorrow, to see if, maybe she is interested in having this as a, just a space, but I just wanted to make sure you weren't hurting for For money.
No, I imagine that the government that I plan to sell it to them would give me, I'm sure, 15 or 20 gold for it.
That's all?
Yeah.
You hear an embodied voice.
Yeah.
From this
we have
guy.
500
That's all.
1 cup of feta is 6 gold.
That's not true.
It's true, Charlotte.
Yeah.
Someone has some splaining to do.
But again, I'm not really needing that. I would be fine to just know that it would go to. I would hope that it would be used as it was to give somebody a home who needs it.
Yeah, same as same.
Gets it. Let me talk to Lorelith. So you're leaving tomorrow morning?
Yes.
Okay. Let me talk with her. Maybe we'll be back. If not safe travels, but I'd love for us to come back if I can convince her. And I'll shake his hand.
Great. Yes. Well, I plan to be at the offices in the morning at sunrise, and then at the gates shortly after. So.
What time is it now? Still early in the day, right?
Yeah, we're not quite to lunchtime after
Right.
yet.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. If we come back, I hope that it will be today. So.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you. Goodbye.
It's nice to meet you, Glenn.
She's like, Glenn?
Yeah.
Sir.
He's dementia. Gosh, don't be mean to him.
Oh my goodness.
What's her name again? Okay, I'm gonna go outside.
Great.
What's Lorelith doing out there?
Oh, I'm gone.
You're straight up gone?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Bye.
She go.
I look around.
Yep.
Don't see her anywhere.
Yep.
How far is Gringen's house from Isero up and coming?
You'd have to get outside of the city, which is about 5 minutes away to the gate, and then a 10-minute walk to the actual land owned by the Isero family.
But
So,
this is right in the city.
yeah.
I think we'll just wait. I don't really have any idea where she would go, I don't think, other than like Ocean Steep Goblet. She wouldn't go back to the purple trees.
I sure would not. Good instinct.
The only place I can think is Munkins,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think she wants to be around people.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a nearby like forest or anything, or is it mostly just the lake?
Outside of the city. You'd be heading towards the Isero estate to get to the nearest route to the woods would be that way.
Yeah. I don't know that she would go to the lake either. They've had experiences there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess I'll freaking just take a walk. I've got weapons, so I'll maybe go out towards the wooded area just to stroll,
Sure.
see if I see her, maybe check on the progress of the Isero estate.
Sure.
I suppose. I know she wants space, but
Right.
also checking on her at the same time.
Yeah. Where would you be heading?
Good instinct, Gwen. Not to confirm or deny anything, but yeah, I think I just start walking in the general knowledge of where I think woods are and people are not, and I definitely don't want to go to the lake.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't think I have any direct path of where I want to go, but just in the general sense of using my directional abilities.
So you walk towards the gate. I'm sure the guard who's there says some type of like, enjoy your travels or something like that on your way out, and you just head down and keep walking through wordlessly.
You won't feed, we chillin'.
I forgot about him.
Yeah.
How could you forget about him?
It's right there.
The two of you don't walk too closely to the lake, but kind of hug the coast of it around because you have to cross a bridge and get over. And then you do pass the Isero estate. You can see the one standing wall that's left. there is a person standing around it and kind of walking around. You notice that he's got some like parchment, kind of a clipboard, and he's kind of surveying it and looking it over, but you continue to walk past and head off into the woods. If you want to add anything to what you going off into the woods would do, you can, or if you just want to leave it at that. It's
No,
also fine.
that's it.
Cool. Right, so we've got that. You were hanging out at Ocean's Deep, just kind of waiting to see if Fairground comes by eventually. Velen, you're just kind of off wandering and exploring and processing on your own. And then you two headed to get some fetto and so just some drink for the morning to get stuff started. Any conversation or where you would head after that as well? You don't run into anyone too important there, party-wise, but Kellen is working. Oh gosh, I should have all of these notes pulled up, but the blonde human that replaced you is also
Mystique.
working there.
Oh wait.
No, that's the bassist.
Oh, never mind.
Blonde person is enough.
Oh, okay, I can check.
I call her Mystique.
Ah, yes, you, the blonde person who replaced me.
My name is Catherine. As we're walking in, you can hear, I don't know if we were just getting coffee to go and going to Ocean's Deep or whatever, but as we're walking in, you hear Thule say, I'm just saying, there's not many people named Christine in this town. Like, you say it's random, but actually I don't want to make that character choice for you. That's what she says. I'm just saying, there's not many people named Christine in this town.
Yeah, I know. She's not from this town. I'll tell you about her another time.
She's from somewhere else. You wouldn't know her.
Yeah.
She's from Canada.
She goes to a different school. But yeah.
Tuli says, okay, I'm a pretty good wing genasi.
Wing genasi. Yeah, it's just...
I'm very subtle.
She's a tiefling too, so it's a little complicated.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's complicated?
Yeah.
That sounds ideal.
It's really complicated. Yeah.
Are you from like rivaling estates?
No, it's more just like my parents, you know, they don't, my dad doesn't want to like keep the tiefling thing going and stuff, you know.
Tuli's just staring at him. This is the most like miseries ever, like, opened up, and she's like, your dad is a tiefling, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't like tieflings?
I mean, it's a curse, you know? I don't really like it either.
Stacy. Her name is Stacy.
Hey! Of course, the blonde human!
Of course.
Carry on, sorry.
No, you're fine. DM, could you not interrupt us?
Yeah, shut up over there!
At first I thought you meant Misery's mom, and I was like, Misery's mom is definitely not named
Yeah.
Stacy.
Stacey's got it going on. Tuli starts, her eyes are starting to like water a little, like mist up a little bit, and she's like, that is so sad.
Yeah, it's kind of like a forbidden love kind of thing. It's pretty...
Does she like your music?
Oh, of course.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa.
Who doesn't?
What city is she in?
Another one?
Bounty Faith?
A different one? Bounty Faith? I don't know.
Bounty Faith High?
I mean,
Sark?
we met at camp, so I don't even really know where she's from, but it's just not from Populous.
Well, Missouri, knowing absolutely nothing about her and really not you, I 100% fully support your union.
That's amazing. Can we not talk about this? I need some feddo.
Cheers to that. And goes and gets it.
Yeah, you can do 6 silver for the fetto.
Dang it.
Tuli goes,
I did, though.
And for what that's worth too, I think Pilgrim you can do like, oh my gosh, I think it's 3 copper for a night at Cozy Cots.
That's so weird.
And everyone else stayed somewhere where it didn't cost anything. And then everyone as well, if you are eating food in the city, which I know that some of y'all might have done, you can do like probably just 5 silver a piece for anyone who's like getting meals within the city too. But also we're at a point where that's starting to get like, y'all can afford it and it's fine. But even then it's like, as you are starting to pay for it, you do also have this just immediate thought too of like, we've got plenty of money. For those of you that heard how much Grenjan was trying to sell his house for, what at the start of this campaign would have been a very difficult amount for you all to manage and get together. Looking at like 20 gold is now something that y'all have like almost throwaway, even from just doing just 2 to 3 jobs at the risk and the success that y'all have, being able to spend the gold or 5 silver or whatever it is for a night, or even to buy a house on the west side of town. Like all of that is like, oh, there's an immediate clarity of like this comparison, this affordability, and what y'all have now is immediately aware. This is pretty well propped up and well positioned to live well in Populous. Pilgrim, as you were sitting in Ocean of Deep Goblet, the voice hits you first as you were in your meditations and just sitting off into the corner, and you're trying to use this time to just rest and think well. You can hear, yes, well, I have thought that I was told that Pilgrim would be in here, and then you hear Rickledar just echo back out. Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah, he's still here. And he seems a little shaken up from still just like talking of the topic that y'all had. And he's kind of jokingly being distant from you. That guy. And then as you peek your head up and actually are paying attention to the people around you, you can see the tall and well-dressed purple robes of Farragrant, with his long black hair pulled back into what is 2 braids now coming down, just the way that he has it set up. There's on each braid there's like 5 different ringlets of gold that chunks off these massive sections of his thick hair that he's got going on, the goatee coming down, where also he has 5 different gold ringlets braiding down different parts of his beard. Turns over, the ringlets swing over. Well then, we have a chat ahead.
Indeed we do. We can have this, we can talk in back at the Brass Star, or perhaps we can find a private room here to talk.
It's on you. It's your dealer's choice.
I am going to look over at, try to catch Rickledar's eye. I'm just going to mind link and just be like, is that a private room that Farragrant and I can talk?
Please do. And he walked over and to the side where that back room was, where y'all have had a small conversation before. He opens up the side room, and Farragrant just walks by and looks up at a bottle of looks like a good bottle of wine up on one of the higher shelves, and he kind of twists his finger around. The bottle comes down into his hand. He looks down at it. This should do. And then he waves his hand up, and a couple of coins just ding, 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 onto the counter next to the side. He doesn't even look at Rickledar as he walks by. Goes into the room, and
as I walk by Rickledar, I kind of smile and give him a little nod, and then go to the room. And after the door closes, I kill Farragrant.
Thank God.
he uncorks the bottle. There's a couple of glasses off on the shelf to the side, and he sets it up on the table, pours a couple of glasses of wine, sits down, and
Grabs the wine bottle.
Let's go.
touche.
Cool. I just I wordlessly go over to the table and pull out the rolled up. Wordlessly go to the table. But I don't narrate.
But not.
I
make a lot of noise, but don't worry.
I'm going over to the table now.
Tell me how.
Without saying anything to Farragrant, go over to the table, and I take the cloth out. The cloth that I used to wrap up all the shards of the husk stone. I'm gonna take that cloth out.
And you drop them everywhere.
Enough!
And rattle the shards, and the wolves attack.
Welcome to my seat. This is what it's like. You really should make more noise when you do this, like this.
Very good,
You already made that joke.
All right.
This was a good time to do it too.
If I get to make Avada Kedavra jokes as much as I want, Dan gets to make the fairy godmother jokes as much as he wants.
Yeah.
This is fun.
Speaking of which,
I mean, roll
Sorry,
of
were you
threes. There's
saying
one more
something?
time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I was wordlessly doing all of this. I roll out the cloth
Steal something.
with the various shards.
What?
Cool. You pull out the shards of the husk.
I pull out the shards of the hookstone and I roll it out, huskstone, and
Huckleberry Finn stuff.
yeah. And I look at Fairgrand and kind of indicate the shards and say, the creature that was within the huskstone is gone. This is all that remains, and I am unsure what to do. This stone, these stones are a sacred. They are sacred to my people. They are of high importance. They are not meant to just be discarded. They were not meant to be abused as this creature abused this huskstone. And I'm afraid that in my rush to end the danger that was facing Populus, I sunk to the worst impulses of my own people, and I destroyed this stone. And frankly, I feel a bit lost. I want to honor this relic from my people, and I'm not sure where to go from here. So you are a wise and powerful user of magic. You seem to have had some level of awareness of the power of this stone and some awareness of its properties, and so I simply ask, as a peer, as a individual who has already owes lots of you've helped us many a time with sharing information and guidance and answering questions, and so thoughts. What what remains be put to use?
Tell me then. And he reaches his hand forward and picks up one of the long shards, and his eyes go blue in the way that when he is looking over magical items and stuff and trying to understand and read them well, he has the magical ability to gain more information than he currently has, and he's studying it over. What would be the practice or right respect in your mind of the way to treat and handle such an object like this?
My people use the husk stones to amplify their own mental abilities. They use them to the pursuit of wisdom was ultimate, and honoring the mind and honoring our god Numero through the pursuit of a pure knowledge and a pure desire to when we put our own elders into these stones, it was not simply a fear of death. It was a desire to pass on knowledge and to pass on wisdom and to continue to accumulate this wisdom. And these stones have great power, and they can be used to amplify the power that already exists within our people. And I simply know that my desire this side of all that I have done is to atone for what I come from, and I am still learning to reconnect with my past and my people and all that we were able to do with these stones, and so I feel as if Pilgrim from a past life would know exactly what to do, and I have not quite connected with that Pilgrim yet. But in this time, I know that this stone has power, and I want to use the power that this stone has to continue to atone.
And then, what would the opposite be if you are atoning for something, or would see the stone be put into its right and proper use? What end would that look like, where you would be able to stick it to them and use this in the way it should be used? Or what could we achieve with it that would give you this peace that you were looking for?
Well, I believe that wisdom should be used to serve and protect the other and the community, and when it is simply used to protect oneself, this leads to simple pride and self-seeking, and so I simply wish, if it is possible, this stone has been used to bring great harm to the community. If there is a way I can repurpose this to protect and serve this community and the larger community outside the populace, that would be my desire.
Well then, what if we could seek unity and seek others by using this stone with, well, my great powers and talents, of course. If we could use that to then leverage a new allyship and perhaps connection with one that we have lost. Yeah, Kalistar at that. If I could find some way to reach out and, well, our friend, my friend, and one that you seek, this Remy that I cannot seem to communicate with, would you find it then useful if the properties of this stone with I'm connecting with now and scheming with and clearly having hundreds of ideas running through my head, potentially then, given enough time and talent and perhaps with your help as well, this may be the means in which Remy may be located, connected with, united with you, and some new bond and some new direction be provided in some way that might forge for you some path that leads to penance, or whatever word it was that you used.
Atonement, the Jane Austen novel.
Yes, Jane Austen.
No.
You know that she divorced a man named Hank
Troutman!
It all comes back to him.
WWG, Hank Troutman. Anyway, the real serious conversation I brought up all sounds very good to at least confirm or deny at this point.
Certainly. I just wish to redeem this stone's purpose. It was used for great evil, and it is too important to my people and my culture for it to meet such a tragic end.
Well, if we would then use it to unite Kalistar, where it was formerly used to sever Kalistar from their community. Oh, there's some rebellious spirit in that.
Yes, you say rebellious, I say...
Tomato.
Somebody write that down.
We had like nothing, so this is good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Talk among yourselves.
I mean, so far the idea I had was
Oh, wait.
Hunkle. And then Martha and Pilgrim sitting in the tree.
Yeah.
SSING.
Yeah. You say rebellious, I say restorative.
Wonderful. That seems like a good point to end this episode.
Wow, and then I kill him.
Please kill
I
it!
pick up a shard and I knife him.
Take care, everyone. Thanks for joining us again. Goodbye.
Bye!
Bye,
I
everyone.
love that.
Bye.